Hello everyone, it's Faerur here with game 1 in the series between Matt and Archie, where Matt on the left side is playing Faerur, while on the right side we do have Archie is playing Lumia. So two of the most popular decks currently at the moment in the new frontier. For those who don't know, this is prior to Rare Cluster number 3, so this is before the third expansion set does come out. So meaning the two most dominant deck at the moment is Faerur and Lumia. Now Faerur, a very strong early game deck, apply a lot of pressure, able to do a lot of damage as soon as it goes off, allowing you to get yourself a strong elf resident battlefield. And not in that, your J rule itself, where you do flip over with 4 counters on it, you have so much mode, you can give a pumping ability or even use it for protection purposes. While on the right side we have Archie playing Lumia. Lumia has one of those decks since last year, has been very popular since Lumia Hook came out. Now the strategy has changed quite a bit because of Hook getting banned, so now you're relying on using Lumia Resonator to gain a lot of resources, and hopefully among those resources there will be Serene Wind and Other Worlds to pretty much cancel out your play. And when you do have enough resource, drop the commander, Faerur's commander, and then go for the game, because you get 1000 damage and piercing on the board as well, which gives you enough to OHKO any deck out there, even the Dark Tree. Other than that, let's get back to the game itself. Now, as I mentioned before, this will be a very popular matchup, because again, these two are the best meta deck at the moment, able to apply so much damage, able to gain so much resource, and of course, both decks are playing green, and we all know that green are just so strong at the moment. Not enough balancing at the moment, and not enough nerfing. So let's see now. We do see Archie is going for the offensive play at the moment, but we do see Matt is going very defensively and using those early game True Blade to get rid of the resonators and so on. It seems that Matt doesn't want Archie to get the pluses from the flicker effect from Lumia, allowing Archie to draw more answers and so on. So by looks of it, it seems Matt doesn't have a lot of pressure at the moment. Usually at this point in time, most Faerur deck able to drop a lot of elves on the field, like the elf gets a token and so on, and with not enough tokens you J activate, get more tokens, and then so on, and then bring out the big dude, and then you just apply so much damage on the board and a lot of pressure in the early game. It seems that Matt has been drawing a lot of defensive cards at the moment. Let's hinge that the double True Blade and so on. But let's see what can Matt do now. But Matt's being very defensively passing turn, not putting any elf on the field, so meaning that he's not applying enough pressure compared to most traditional decks. Tapping for Stone by Archie. Now Archie's strategy at the moment is trying to pretty much stall the game to the mid to late game. That's where the Lumia deck shines the most. I'm meaning by shines the most because at the very late game, you were able to apply enough resonance on the battlefield to defend most of the elves attack, because most of the elves doesn't have piercing unless Matt takes in like a 1 copy of Faerur's command, which I completely doubt, because again, Faerur's deck is mostly an early game deck, so they try to finish the game off ASAP in the early game, and they don't really commit to the late game as much. Let's see now. Currently, life point wise, 3,700 compared to 4,000 life points. Paying 3 resources by Archie, and looks like dropping out the Charizard in response to it. Now, this Charizard is from the previous expansion set from, I want to say, Cluster number 4. It has on-enter ability, but however, it looks like that on-enter ability won't be able to be on the field, just for the fact that Other World is going to be coming in and cancelling out. But however, in comes the Melfi for replacement for it, and at the end of the turn, it looks like flickering the Melfi and so on. Let's see now. Currently, life point wise, 3,700 compared to 4,000 life point. Now, at the moment, Matt needed to apply some pressure because he doesn't want to go to the late game. As soon as Lumia goes to the late game, that's where Faerur struggles the most. When he struggles the most because they don't have enough enough damage on the board. But however, it looks like Matt is not going for the judgment play that most deck will go, because most player will do like, when I have enough resource, judgment, get my big 10-10 guy out. Each time I attack or on play, I flip the top card of my deck, it was elf after my hand, gain resources and so on, and start applying pressure. But it seems that Matt is playing a bit more defensively and passively compared to most decks out there. but which is a good thing for Archie, because Archie can be, okay, he's playing very defensively, so meaning his hand is not as aggressive, so meaning I can actually slow ball this, so I can actually get enough resource, put enough resin on the battlefield, put Lumia, put Tama, and so on, and when I do have enough, I will be able to Faerur's command and pretty much will OHKO anything, because even if he drops anything on the battlefield, and if it doesn't cancel my Faerur's command, everything gets PC in 1000 attack and 1000 defense. So that's what it seems that the strategy that Archie is going for at the moment, because he hasn't dropped any Lumia resin on the field, and it doesn't look like he has it in hand as well. Looks like Matt is dropping another addition on the field. Now that addition allows you to block, that addition allows you to pump all your L's, I believe, and also block flyers, if I remember correctly. Let's see what can Archie do. Both players are still on high life point, and we're already in the mid to late game now, or close to mid to late game. And looks like Archie is going to go for the offensive play now, paying 3 resources, and might be playing card from the hand, I believe. No, he's actually judgmenting. Oh god. So he's paying 3 resources Judgment to get Lumia out, and Lumia's effect will allow him to remove I can't remember the cat resonator. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember on top of my head. But once it's removes from the field, as long as that card stays removed, Lumia gains additional ability on attack, or not when on attack. When it deals damage, you gain life and gains imperishable. So I mean, at the moment, Archie's going like, well, if you're not going offensive play, I will do it for you. Attack directly, tap down one of your Melfi so you have less blockers. So now I'm going to attack you for 1000, and either you block it or not, I'm still getting that 1000 life. So meaning there's 1000 more life point for you to push through, and that might be more than enough for me to survive in the long term. Taking 1000 directly, and looks like Matt does take it, which does put him down to 2700 life point, and putting Archie back to 5000 life point. So the thing is, when you do flip into Lumia in the J rule form, you will lose the ability to flicker at the end of the turn, so it means he can't abuse as much enter ability. But at the moment, Archie's like, you know what, I'm gonna go for the aggressive play. Either I go aggressive or my opponent goes aggressive. At the moment, he's playing very defensive. Here's my opportunity, I'm gonna push for it and see how it goes. So let's see what can both players do now. Now both players does have a 4 resource on the build. When I mean 4 resource, I mean 4 magic stone and 2 Melfis. So they have a total of 6 resources to play with, so you shouldn't worry them too much. But however, Archie does have the upper hand with the strong Lumia on the battlefield, 10-10, life gain, and even if it does die, it does have imperishable, so meaning he can Judgment it once more. So let's see. Matt is debating whether he should Judgment or not. If he does Judgment, he does allow him to gain a strong resin on the board, and now that Faerur is already going to be with 4 counters on it. He's debating whether to tap for Magic Stone or not, but if I was Matt, I would just Judgment about him. Like, at the moment, your opponent will be applying pressure, so you need to retaliate back and apply pressure of your own. If you don't, then you will lose the pressure wall. Paying 3, it looks like he is going to Judgment. In response to the Judgment, Archie could be used Dawn of the Earth, which is a very strong combo at the moment. Dawn of the Earth allows you to have 3 modes. He's using the one on play. You remove the resident that doesn't come from the hand, so which does allow 1 less problem for Archie to deal with. And of course, Matt is selecting the weakest elf from his deck, so he doesn't remove his best card from the game. So let's see, now life point wise, 2,700 compared to 5,000 life point. But we do know that Faerur does has 4 counters, so he can actually slow ball this as well. So meaning that if I have 4 counters, I block, I can pump it, and you lose your J roll, and my J roll is still on the battlefield, etc., etc. So meaning I will win out the damage war, but it depends if Matt's gonna be playing offensively or defensively at the moment. Paying 1. Dropping another addition on the battlefield, and looks like he is tapped out completely. Almost tapped out. He has 2 Melfi on the field, which can tap for mana. So let's see. Currently, life point wise, 2,700 compared to 5,000 life point. Now Archie is debating. He did draw into a True Blade, so what he can do is before recovering True Blade one of the Melfi, and then use the other resource in True Blade. I want to take 1 Melfi out of the way, or he could do it during the blocking phase, so the damage does go through and get rid of the problem as well. But however, I don't think Archie will declare an attack, because again, his opponent does have a J-roll on the battlefield, and that J-roll could outwin the damage wall just for the fact that he does have counter, and the counter can either pump up 300 attack on defense on any Elf Resonator / J-Ruler, or he can give a barrier. So at the moment, it has 4 counters, so 1 removal counter will be more than enough to withstand Lumia's attack. Now, Archie is in a kind of predicament at the moment because he doesn't have a lot of strong resident on the battlefield, and looks like he is declaring passing turn and giving it to Matt. So back to Matt's turn now, by the looks of it. Now, if I was Matt, I would just say I'll pass turn as well, or he can play a big resident on the battlefield. Reason is because, like, think of it this way: I have a Faerur. My Faerur can outwin the Battle of J-Roll match. So meaning you did attack with your Lumia, I'll block, I will still win the battle of that round. And if you, meaning that you have 1 less resource to, or 1 less J-Roll to play with, yes, you can Judgment next turn, but that requires you to have it next turn, and by then I might deal enough damage on the board already. So it depends what Matt does. Let's see. Looks like Matt has 2 cards in hand, so not a lot of cards in his hand to play with, while Archie has 4 cards, and we did see a True Blade and a Dawn. So it looks like he's attacking. Yes, he's going for the attack. He's going for the aggressive play, attacking directly, which does put Archie down to 4,000 life points. You guys are wondering why is a 4,000 life point? Because the 2 Elf Edition on the battlefield, it pumps all elves by +1/+1. So since he has 2 on the battlefield, it'd be doing +2/+2. Using the True Blade to try and get rid of the Melfi. So meaning less resource and less blockers for Matt. So meaning what Archie's trying to do, get rid of one of the Resonators, declare an attack, flicker one in the Melfi, has 1 less blocker, attack directly 4,000 and gain more life. So it looks like that's his plan at the moment, but however, don't count Matt out yet. Matt does have 5 mana opponent plusing and a Melfi, so technically, so he's ready for any cancel war and so on. Attacking directly and looks like targeting the Melfi, but however, Matt can use the barrier effect onto it, so not allowing it, but looks like not doing it, taking the 1,000 point damage and putting Matt down to 1,700, putting Archie back to 5,000 life point. The pressure is on for Matt because at the moment he can't do much. He's really literally locked down at the moment because like he can push back with Faerur, but however Faerur will be like, okay, I mean Archie will be like, okay, I'll just attack you again for directly 4,000. I gain that 1,000 life and you lose the 1,000 life. And Archie's trying to play the Sacred Elf, but I'm not sure why Matt actually cancelled it. I'm really not sure why. You're wasting a very strong cancel spell on an elf, which is only strong in the early game, which I completely understand. If you cancel it in the early game, that's fine, but this is already the mid to late game now, so meaning it makes really no sense for Matt to cancel it unless he's fearing the Faerur's command, because at the moment Archie does have 2, actually 2, 4, 6 at the moment. So if the if the Sacred Elf does resolve, he will have enough for what do you call it? Faerur's command. So I can see that play, but I'm not sure if that's worth it, because if that's the case, would it be better for Matt to cancel out Faerur's command instead of Sacred Elf? Like, it makes more sense that way, unless he's fearing his opponent has double Faerur's command in his hand, and maybe that's a different story. Let's see now. 1,700 compared to 4,000 life point. I'm not liking the fact that Matt's going very offensive at the moment because he can't do much. Like, he will Archie will win out the life war because again he will gain life. Like the damage whatever damage you deal to him, he will recover that damage from Lumia's attack. Because Lumia's attack, whenever it deals damage, you gain life whatever Lumia deals. So which is 1,000 life point, and you're doing 1,000 life point as well. So this will be an endless cycle. So I'm not sure it was a good idea for Matt to go very offensive at the moment. If I was him in this situation, play a bit more defensively, because your Faerur is technically bigger than Lumia. So if Lumia does declare an attack, you can just flat out block it. And And yeah, that's what I think. That's what I believe Matt should have done. Because at the moment, if you tap down your J ruler, you're giving the opportunity for Archie to actually go very offensive against you. So that's what I would avoid. But let's see what can Matt do now. The life point wise is quite big in differences. So let's see. Paying 3 resources to drop the resonate allows you to produce a lot of elves. But however, Archie's like, nope, get that out of here. I'm gonna overwhelm that. If you have no one, I might Faerur winner. If you don't, then tough luck. Pretty much that's what Overwhelm does. Overwhelm says like, you have something, play it. If you don't, like, I cancel it for 1 drop, and that's the reason why that card got banned. And in the current new frontier after the new set comes out. Let's see now. Looks like we're going back to Archie's turn. Very soon that is. But it's still on Matt's turn. The moment Matt's deciding whether to use his mana or not. But he's again going for the offensive play. If I was him, like technically, if I was him, I would just don't attack. Literally, do not attack, because like he can't do much. And paying 1 and giving flying to interesting. Giving flying to Melfi, bestowing the cloud, attacking directly for interesting. That's an interesting play, to be honest. But what I thought, yeah, it's an interesting play. Now he's completely defenseless now. He's tapped out completely, so a phase command will be coming in by the looks of it yet. Yeah, phase command is going to be coming down. His opponent is tapped out, taking the opportunity, and this is going for literally game, and that's the game, guys, by the looks of it. Thank you for watching, and let's stay tuned for round 2, or not round 2, game 2. Hello everyone, welcome back to game 2 now in the series. We do have Matt and Archie. Matt on the left side playing Faerur, while on the right side Archie is playing Lumia. Now this time Archie will be on the draw, having energized to help him. But let's see if Matt can go for the offensive play. Now in the game 1 we did see that Matt was playing very defensively. He had a lot of defensive cards and so on, but not enough offensive play to apply the pressure. Because again, you need to apply a lot of pressure to your opponent. If not, then you're going to lose out that war. In comes the True Blade, killing off the Tama. I don't really agree wasting a True Blade on the Tama. Because the fact is that if you True Blade it, you're wasting a very strong removal spell against like Sacred Elf or any problematic cards such as, I believe, like let's say for example, let's say a Lumia. Lumia Resonator, and you play that, he can just True Blade it and True Blade it again. But I really do not agree dropping out the True Blade against a Tama. So that might be a little misplay by Matt, but maybe Matt doesn't want Archie to have those hand advantages after flicking ready and so on. Look like passing turn and True Blading the Tama once more. Interesting play by Matt. Again, I don't agree with this play, but he might be in a situation like, I don't want my opponent to gain any advantages and so on. He will already win in the mid to late game. But I think what Matt should focus the most should be focusing on the early game, applying early game pressure and so on. But at the moment, Matt's field is quite empty, like very empty. He has nothing on the field, has free resource open. So maybe it indicates that to Archie that he might have a lot of defensive card in his hand, or he bricked his hand. Am I expecting another True Blade? Looks like it. Yep, another True Blade comes in. Looks like looks like Matt drew a lot of defensive cards. But however, Archie does have a has rapid growth, which be more than enough to allow the Sacred Elf to survive. It does give +4/+4, so it will win that battle. But let's see if Matt will be allowing that to resolve. If it does let it resolve, then the Melfi will stay alive regardless of what will happen. So let's see now. Both players still in 4,000 life point range, so nothing has happened. Looks like rapid growthing. No, not rapid growthing. Looks like using submarine. Oh, interesting. Huh. Okay. I'm surprised that Archie didn't use his one resource to Rapograph again, because if the True Blade goes to the graveyard, meaning that the Rapograph should go to the bin first, right? Rapograph resolve goes to the bin, and then True Blade goes to the bin, and then True Blade activates once more, and yeah, that's how it should work, right? So maybe a little I think not miscommunication, like mismatch, like timing go to the graveyard. That's what I think. Looks like Nameless missed to take out the Dawn of the Earth, not allowing Archie to have that ability to remove any resident when he decides to J-activate, but he does know that his opponent does have 2 Lumia, 1 True Blade, and the Tama 2.0 as a 2 cost. Again, I'm not really good with names in the cards. Let me say that again. I'm not really good with names with the cards in this game, so I just remember the effect, but not the name, to be honest. Drawing to Otherworld Dreams, so that will be helpful later on in the game. So, however, Archie does have a double Lumia in hand, so he can gain a lot of resources. But he's not playing the Lumia; he's gonna be playing the cat. So now I think he's trying to bait out any Otherworld Dreams. If not, he just get a plus anyway, or whatnot. So let's see if Matt could be responding to that. I'm pretty sure Matt won't do anything, because, like, again, if you respond to it, you're gonna be losing a really strong cancel spell. Not only that, you'll be allowing your opponent to drop a Lumia for free. Looks like he does make the decision not allowing his opponent to resolve his cat, which allows him to actually draw additional cards. So let's see what will Archie be adding. I can't see. Yep, can't see. I don't know what it was he was adding, but let's see if Archie can be playing anything else. I don't think Archie will do anything, because he does have Otherworld Dream in his hand, so he wants to respond. But let's see if Matt going to go for the offensive play, because again, in game 1 we all noticed that the reason why Matt didn't do too well in game 1 because he didn't apply enough pressure in the early game, while Archie did the honorable damage output. Not honorable. He went for the offensive play instead of Matt, so meaning he applied the pressure way faster than his opponent. So yeah, 4 resource open at the moment for Matt. Dropping the elf, paying 1. Is he got a True Bladed? Looks like he's got a True Bladed. Yep, he's got a True Blade the Resonator, not allowing him to have extra resource, because again, for those who don't know, Faerur has the ability you can tap 2 elves to recover stones, so which would allow him to Judgment literally for free. Not for free, but with the free stone he had in the beginning. So he's pretty much a pseudo Sacred Elf in a way. So looking at the graveyard, once looks like checking for information how many cancel spell does his opponent will have still. 7 wins is the only card being used so far, so he has to worry about the 4 other worlds and the 3 7 win. Those are the card defining format at the moment, so let's see how everything goes. Looks like if I was Matt, I will apply the pressure right now. Your opponent is completely wide open. Like, why wouldn't you apply the pressure? You know for the fact that he can't Dawn you because you took out the Dawn. But sure, he might have a second Dawn in his hand because of the Energize and the blue resource, but you might as well take the risk and see if it goes well. If it doesn't, then again, tough luck, but you need to do something, because as soon as Archie reaches to the mid to late game, he will win the output of damage output, because he can just do piercing and so on. But looks like Matt's going for the defensive play, going to tap for more resource to play more cards. Playing the Elf Resonator allows him to produce more token. In comes the Otherworld Dreams, preventing it from happening. So let's see, does Matt have another card to drop as a free cost or below, or has his own cancel spell to play with, aka Otherworld Dreams? Looks like it will be resolving. He's thinking about it still. Yep. It resolved and dropping. Ooh. Oh, what an interesting choice. Black Lightning. Oh wow, that was a spicy choice. I did not see that coming, guys. So Black Lightning, for those who don't know, that's an ancient magic card. It's mostly seen in Armor Heart decks. So it allows you to destroy a non-black resonator, and what that does is that your opponent cannot cancel it, so meaning that Seven Wind cannot respond to it, so killing his opponent's resonator. But seems like kind of a waste, because your opponent can just banish the cat and do I want to say 300 to 400 damage to a single resonator. Dropping the Lumia, let's see if yep. Oh, Unseen Pressure. Oh wow. Unseen Pressure. In comes, oh, Faerur Summon in response to Unseen Pressure. So the Torrent does kick in, which does allow him to recover a stone. So I'm not sure to play it here at the moment. So let's see what is Archie trying to do, because he's technically recovering a stone at the moment. So maybe he's going to for the offensive play next turn, but is he gonna Rapid Growth the? No, he's not gonna Rapid Growth it. Oh, I thought he would Rapid Growth it, because he does have the Rapid Growth in his graveyard, so it will change the difference from letting Lumia to survive. Ah, interesting. Again, I really thought Archie would have done the Rapid Growth play that is in his graveyard at the moment that he did in the early game. But the Lumia does die, and losing 3 cards, and those 3 cards can be potentially double Other Worlds in a Seven Wind, or any of those cards. Those are really key at the moment, or even his maybe one Faerur's Command. So yeah, very interesting choice by Archie. Maybe he doesn't want to walk into Seven Wind. In comes the 4 counters. Not attacking, summoning a card, and looks like Archie doesn't have Dawn of the Earth. I think Archie would have, if I was Archie, I would use the Rapid Growth just to let it survive. I'm pretty sure Rapid Growth is still in the graveyard. I'm pretty sure, I'm very certain, unless that was in game 1. But I'm fairly certain that was a Rapid Growth in the graveyard. I'm fairly sure. If not, then I can see why it Archie didn't Rapid Growth it then, but I'm pretty sure Rapid Growth is in there. If not, then oh well, then sucks to be me. In comes the Resonator, and the Resonator allows him to flip the top card and his elf out of the hand, adding the Melfi, great card. Now it allows him to play more defensively now, so meaning the second card, if that comes as a second card, well, you play 2 more cards, it becomes a Fog against the J/Resonator. So if Archie does go for the offensive play, he does have a way to dispute the damage away. Paying 1 resource, dropping an elf, which allowed him to gain a token. So again, setting up for his defensive plays in the moment. So like not allowing Lumia to go for direct damage. Drawing for turn. Drawing to a Melfi, another great card for Archie. Again, another defensive card, so you can target one of the Resonator/J-Roll to give a prevent full damage. But however, Faerur allows him to remove a counter, and that counter can give his any elf cards on the battlefield barrier. So meaning that Archie has to play around those barriers most importantly at the moment. Now Archie has to apply the pressure back now, because at the moment, if you look at the battlefield, his opponent has 2 strong units on the field, a Faerur and the 4-drop Resonator, and has 2 elves on the battlefield for defending, and obviously that Matt can go for the offensive play. And let's see if Archie can actually get around this situation. Archie tapping for another stone, so he's going for the stone play instead of the judgment play. Playing down another Lumia, which allows him to gain more resource, hopefully to store out for more time, maybe drawing into, I don't know, the sideboard, Artemis' Foresight perhaps, or even drawing into something more useful to defense. Let's see. Didn't see what he got into, because again, It's really hard to see. So let's see what can Archie do now. Archie will be playing 1 to drop the Sacred Elf for more defensive plays. And looks like he's just defending at the moment. He's being very defensive now. Doesn't want to take too much damage from those unit plays. Archie does have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resource, 1 energized, 1 Sacred Elf, and 3 Magic Stone open. So he can hard cast out a Sermon Wind if he does have it in his hand or under the Lumia. But at the moment, I don't think Matt is going to be worrying about the Council Spell because he got his strategy on the battlefield, he got his strong units, so he's going to be applying the pressure now. Going for the very offensive play. Attacking for 1,000 directly. Flip the card over to see if it's an elf or not. Yep, it is an elf, and that will be added to his hand. Again, generating more resource for Matt, allowing to withstand those hand advantages and applying more pressure on in the game. He can drop the free drop resonant and apply more elf resonant on the battlefield to generate more defensive cards, making life a lot harder for Archie. Currently, life point wise 4,000 compared to 3,000 life points. The damage has been done for now, but let's see if Archie can do a combat. Because at the moment it's going to be very hard for Archie to withstand all this pressure. So let's see what can Archie do now. Archie does have a Melfi in hand, but can he trigger the ability? In order to trigger Melfi's ability, you need to play 2 cards or more this turn. So he needs to play at least 1 card for now, but if he didn't, he'll be taking the damage by the looks of it. Okay, looks like he's going for the pump. Pumping it to a 11-11. Dropping the Melfi. Looks like he's gonna be responding to the Melfi as well by the looks of it. So let's see now what can Matt do in response to it. He's going to be responding. He might be cancelling, hard casting a Serene Wind if he wants to. So in response to the chase, I believe. Looks like he's responding to the chase. True Blading the Elf Resonant away. Huh. So that would be 2 more cards this turn, so meaning Melfi's condition has been met, but he hasn't landed on the battlefield yet. Looks like giving barrier to itself, so it can't target it, so meaning no damage has been dealt, and taking 11 damage directly and not going for the defensive play with his Resonator. It looks like he wants to keep his resource up. So yeah, not in a good position for Archie at the moment. He's down to 1,900 life point compared to Matt's 4,000. So yeah, that barrier is causing a lot of trouble. He has 2 more counters onto it, so I mean 2 more barriers or 2 more pumping abilities. So let's see, back to Archie's turn now. What can Archie do? Archie does have another Melfi in hand, so another great defensive card. But again, Faerur does have 2 more counters, and with 2 more counters, meaning 2 more barriers to play with. Looks like a sticky situation for Archie. Archie's trying to find a play to get out of the situation. Or at the moment, he can go for the offensive play, J activating and J activating into Lumia, and then attack directly. And either he attacks directly to gain 1,000 life, or attack directly into the 4-drop Resonator. Obviously, Matt will, in response, perhaps pumping it to let it survive. But you can attack directly once more again with your other Resonator on the battlefield if you really want to. J activating, removing the Naham from the game. Giving the Lumia the ability to to heal life. So let's see. Attacking into. Let's see. He's looks like gonna be removing removing the token most likely. Because like it makes no sense. You got 3 cards to remove. Looks like attacking to the Faerur. paying 2, dropping the Melfi, so no damage. So meaning the heal effect from Melfi will be, no, the heal effect from Lumia will be nullified by the Melfi if he plays the second card more this turn. Checking the graveyard to see anything with with Remnants, so you can actually trigger the ability from Melfi if you can. So let's see now. Can Matt trigger Melfi's ability? It looks like he's checking is their response to the Melfi play. Hard casting Severing Wind to cancel out the Melfi. Paying 2 again, dropping another Melfi. Oh wow, not looking too good now, because now at the moment the damage will not go through, meaning it means that Archie's Lumia will not do damage, and without doing damage can't heal life. But that kind of sucks. But isn't token supposed to remove? I'm assuming you targeted the token, right? Why is the token still on the battlefield? Well, yep, now it's gone. Yep, it's gone now, so attacking into the unit, and it looks like it's pumping it. And will survive. No, why would you pump it? Because no damage will be dealt, so you will still survive. Looks like it's not pumping it. Oh, okay. So if Matt were to pump it, it will get rid of Lumia, but that makes no sense at all, because meaning that Archie can just Judgment next turn and go for the defensive play. So rather save those counter for later on. Currently life point wise 4,000 compared to 1,900 life points. Field wise, we have 1 Melfi, 1 Fair, 1 giant elf dude, compared to Archie's 1 Lumia, 1 sticker up, 1 Melfi, and 1 Lumia resident on the battlefield with 1 card under it. Archie does have 2 resources open to play with. Let's see what he can use with those 2 resources at the moment. Matt can go for the offensive push at the moment if he really wants to. Paying 1. Paying 2. What's paying 2 for? Oh, is that final battle? Yep, paying 2 for final battle. I'm not sure why paying 2 then. You might as well leave it open. You can pay with life points, right? Depends how much life. At the moment, Lumia is on 10. 10. So if he pays roughly 2,000 life, that will OHKO out the Lumia and rest of the cards on the battlefield. So let's see. So it looks like Matt is going to be using 2,200 life point left remaining, so he's paying 18 life along with the 1 mana. In comes the Rapid Growth. So I was correct, he does have the Rapid Growth in his bin, but he didn't save the first Lumia in the first place for some reason. Maybe he was just saving it for this opportunity. Rapid Growthing into the Lumia Resonator, but I don't think that will be enough. 7 plus 4, that's 11. So meaning that it will still die to the no, it wouldn't die. No, my bad. I thought Matt was doing for 11 damage or something on this line. Attacking directly and revealing is not an elf, is a cloud. And attacking directly. Oh wow. It depends if Archie go for defensive play at the moment. But at this point, I don't think he can do much, because what Matt can do is that he can banish the stone, the spirit stone that's tapped down, draw into the cloud, flay the cloud, and attack in the air for lethal if Archie doesn't block. And it looks like, yep, Archie is scooping it up. That's the game, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for Game 3. Okay, guys, welcome back to Game 3 in the series with Archie on the right side and Matt on the left side. Matt is going to be playing Faerur, while Archie would be playing Lumia. Let's see now. Now both players have scored 1 point each, so now this is the finale. Let's see how everything goes so far. Now Matt needs to apply the early game pressure by applying the early game pressure, he will allow to do a lot of rough damage on the battlefield against Archie, while Archie is trying to stall out the stall out the game, so there will be enough resource for him to play for the offensive play if he really wants to. Looks like both players are not putting any resident on the battlefield, fearing the True Blade. True Blade in this current game limit causing a lot of problem for 2 drops and below. Able to do 1000 damage, 500 for each True Blade. So with True Blade having remnants, we'll be getting rid of it easily. Speaking of True Blade, in comes the True Blade, targeting the Melfi and True Blading the Melfi away. So yeah, so anything with 1000 or less defense for 2 drop is technically non-existent at the moment, this point in time. So True Blade can OHKO anything pretty much. So yeah, it's gonna be really rough at the moment for players to drop anything on the battlefield early in the game and not expecting to get True Blade, because True Blade is literally a lightning strike / thunder, but ×2 the damage. Dropping Nameless Miss, getting important information from Archie's hand, a True Blade, I want to say that's Heavenly Gust, a Dawn, and a couple of Resonators. Looks like getting rid of the Dawn, not allowing Archie to have the opportunity when Matt does do Judgment, he will be able to obviously get a big fat juicy Resonate on the battlefield. So True Blade in their hands, so now Matt has to be very careful with the True Blade, because the True Blade can be very painful, able to OHKO any 2-drop on the battlefield instantly. So let's see now. Both players still in 4000 life point range, so not much has changed. Let's see now. Tapping for another stone. 4 resource open. Now Archie's strategy is trying to prolong the game and get enough resource, and when he does get enough resource, play Faerur's command and go for the win. That's pretty much in the mid to late game, depending how much resource he can generate. Let's see what can Matt do. Matt is thinking whether to cancel or not, or using the True Blade perhaps. True Blading the cat out of the way, you get to search your card, but I get rid of a cat, so meaning that you cannot use it for next turn. He has a Dawn as well. Ooh, not a nice choice. Yeah, a lot of nice choice. Adding the Dawn in his hand, preparing for the following turn if his opponent does decide the Judgment. At least that's one problematic card out of the way. Drawing for turn. Tapping resources. But let's see if Matt's going for the offensive play, Judgmenting to drop a big fat Resonator. Paying 3. And in comes the Dawn, so meaning the Dawn will get rid of it. But in comes the Otherworld Dreams, and in comes another Dawn. Holy cows. And Severing Wind. Whoa. What a nice save. Wow, that was technically a nice save. Whoa. But countering out the Dawn was very huge for Matt, because Matt is able to drop a big fat Resin on the battlefield and triggering a lot of, not triggering a lot of effect, but obviously applying the pressure, which does allow him to pressure his opponent down to even like you literally have a time at the moment. If you don't finish me soon, I'm going to finish you off with 2 Resonator, well 1 Resonator and a Jade Ruler, and those are more than enough for me to kill you. So yeah, losing double Dawn, well actually triple Dawn now, because yeah, that kind of sucks a lot. But yeah, triggering into a Nameless Miss, that won't help at all, but that could be helpful perhaps next turn if Matt decides to play it. Tapping for another stone, field completely wide open, so Archie has to find ways to defend himself. Dropping a Lumia to generate more resource to play with. Hopefully drawing to like a certain answer, like I want to say Artemis Foresight if he does sideboard it. Paying 1, dropping a Sacred Elf. Again, dropping a lot of elves to defend against his life. Paying 1 to drop another Sacred Elf. No, yeah, drop another Sacred Elf. So pretty good at the moment for Archie, able to generate some defensive play. But Severing Wind the Sacred Elf? Huh. Okay. I'm not sure if is that really worth 7 win, to be honest, guys. Yeah, I'm not really sure if that was worth 7 win. You'd rather save the 7 win for something else a bit more important, but he just canceled out the Sacred Elf, which I don't really agree, because again, like, what are you fearing from a Sacred Elf? Attacking directly? Ooh, final battle. So Archie has to be careful with next turn, because next turn Matt could be drawn to final battle. If you put too much cards in the battlefield, he can just final battle your field and attack for a lot of damage. Looks like Archie to be taking that damage. So now let's see if Matt can follow up with those plays after this. Maybe he should drop more resource. He's going for defensive play, perhaps. Looks like he's debating to attack or not. So looks like he's tapping for another stone. Huh. Not going for the offensive play. Using Nameless Mist to look at the opponent's hand. A True Blade and I want to say Heavenly Gust, because again I can't see with the pixel quality I have at the moment. Getting rid of True Blade, one less True Blade to worry about. Yes, True Blade has Remnant, but however, that's at least 500, not 1,000 point of damage to worry about. And putting 1/1 counter on the Resonant, making a 11/11 attacker. Whew! That's as strong as Resonant on the battlefield at the moment. So let's see now. Life point wise, 4,000 compared to 3,000 life points. Archie is not in the best situation at the moment, that's all I can really say. Paying 2 resource. Archie's thinking whether to judgment or not. If he does judgment, whether he can do a follow-up after that. Dropping the cat. Okay, dropping the cat to see whether he gets the Resonator. If he does get Resonator, he get Lifelink onto his Lumia if he decides to judgment. Oh, using Unseen Pressure to get rid of Lumia. Huh. Getting rid of Lumia, so that's 1 card for less for Lumia. No, 1 less card for Matt to worry about. But not sure what's the Unseen Pressure gonna be doing. Maybe I'm trying to avoid the Faerur's command play, perhaps. For the next turn play, that is. Archie tapping for another stone, so not doing the judgment play as I expected. As I was expecting, should I say. So he doesn't want to go for the offensive play. Maybe he would have if he could have, if the Resonator didn't have a 1/1 counter, perhaps. Dropping Lumia to generate more resource for Archie to use. Pretty much more defensive card if possible. So let's see. Paying 1 red. Sacred Elf? Nope, Tama. Dropping Tama to draw a card. Trying to generate as much resource to defend. Oops, sorry, a burp, guys. Trying to generate resource to burp. Sorry, not trying to generate resource to burp. Trying to generate resource to defend. Dropping the Melfi. I'm not sure why you want to drop the Melfi, because your opponent is not going offensively. Perhaps you want to push for game? Maybe that's why? Not fairly sure about this. Not sure what is Matt trying to do at this point in time. 4 resource open, so he can technically hard cast out a 7 win if he wants to stop a play. Paying 1. Nameless Mist perhaps, or Final Battle? Doing for Final Battle. Looks like you're going to be paying a lot of life to get rid of the field and praying that that Lumia face down doesn't have any cancel spell, namely what's it called? Otherworld Dreams. paying 14 life to do 700 AoE damage on the battlefield. But let's see if Archie has a cancel spell to prevent this from happening. Using Tama's effect to burn 200. Using the cat to burn 500. Not enough to get rid of the field. I think it's 400. Sorry, it's 400. I think. I want to say it's 400, but tapping for resource to generate it. Yep, so that's more than enough to get rid of the battlefield. So let's see. Rapid growthing him. Oh wow, I'm not hurt. Rapid growth hurt. So yeah. So letting Lumia to survive on the battlefield. Do you pay for 1 resource? True blading it out. Whoa. So it looks like in response to it. So before the rapid growth goes to graveyard, pretty much. He can rapid growth once more, but not sure if he will do or not. So he doesn't want to do it. So 1 card in hand for Matt. So let's see, can he push for game? So he can technically do, let's see here, 11 plus 8. That's already 19. 19 plus a couple counters. I want to say at least 27 damage on the board. So not enough for lethal at the moment. So we put him down to 19. So 19 at the moment plus 4 counters. Not 19, 800 plus 4 counters, that's 16, yeah, not enough. That will put him down to 200 still. No, it's 18 or 17, yeah, 17. So you're trying to pump. Pumping again. So let's see. Pumping again once more, leaving 1 counter perhaps. Yep, so leaving 1 counter just for barrier, just in case. But let's see if Archie going to drop the Melfi, because he does have Torrent at the moment. Yes, dropping it, trying to prevent damage by using the counter. Melfi does die because the final battle is AoE damage still lasting on the field until end of the turn, hence why the Melfi went to the graveyard right away, which does leave Archie down to 200 life point now. So not looking too good at the moment. So let's see now. At the moment, playing a Melfi to defend, I want to say, questionable as well. So let's see what can Archie do now. I think this is already the time, so meaning that you have to finish this on Matt's turn, because Matt's turn will be on turn 3. I want to say, I really want to say it's turn 3. So let's see now. In his hand, I don't think he has the resource to finish the game off. With 2,600. Playing the Tama, trying to draw into an answer, drawing Otherworld Dreams. Would have been helpful for last turn, but yeah. Judgmenting. Removing, oh, he's gonna get some life gain, that would be nice to start off the game for a little bit. Attacking into... tapping down the Resonator and attacking to the J-Roller. So that'll be getting rid of that. So flooding 1. So the J-Roller is down for the count, so meaning 1 less card, 1 less threat to worry about for Archie. Using True Blade. True Blading the Melfi, and looks like he could be using Tama to follow up. Yes, he could be using Tama to follow up at the play, getting rid of the Melfi of his opponent. So now his opponent only has an 11-11 duel on the battlefield, which isn't enough to get rid of Archie's life point from 12 to 0, unless unless Matt draw another copy of Nameless Mist, which will give him the counter he needs to push for the damage. But let's see if Matt draws it or not. He does have 2 Spirit Stone, so he can draw more cards. Hitting another stone as well, so that might be helpful. Stone. Do you get it? Banishing, getting another stone. There's another draw. Hopefully drawing to Nameless Mist, because Nameless Mist is the only card can win him the game at the moment. Yep. Looks like it will be a draw. Yep, it looks like it will be a draw. So that's the game, guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Peace.